Hey everyone, Agent Sith here. Today I want to do a rundown guide on the very difficult Iron Giant Ambu. They made a lot of changes to it. A lot of the older range strats don't work anymore, so I thought I'd share this melee strat that we've been working on for a while. Um, let's get right into it. So first off, we have our jobs and setup, what each job does or expected to do. I'm doing this 5 box. I'm doing this all on my own. So obviously you can improve on it quite a bit with the more real players you have, by changing some jobs around, by adding jobs, etc. But this is just what I used. I had a lot of success with. So you can definitely make some changes to this, but I'm just going over what I used. So first off, I used Warrior as the main DPS. You're going to need access to Axe with Ruinator, and then Sword with Savage Blade. And then I TP in full Sakata for survivability and resist reasons. White Mage is going to have to do typical White Mage stuff. You're going to have to keep everyone alive. Make sure you use Bar Blizzara. Same thing with Warrior. Idle in something like Bunzi or even Neame to make sure that you survive the chaos, resist the stun, the amnesia, all that. Core is just there for rolls, and to leaden for the 3-step, the middle part of the 3-step. Bard is just there for songs. The songs I use are Honor March, Mercado Honor March, Minuet 5, Minuet 4, and Ice Carol. Technically, if you have a real bard, the bard can help with Savage Blade on the Frost Giant. And then Paladin, this can easily be a Rune Cleanser also, but the main goal of the tank is to just hold them in the corner at the start, so your melee, your warrior, doesn't get hit with Turbine and full dispelled. Fight summary. Okay, so phase 1 is the Turbine mode. In Turbine mode, they only use Turbine Cyclone, which, like you said before, is like a 3 to 5 hit dispel. They have a huge damage resist now, where they only take like 33% of the total damage on the first phase. So no matter what damage you do to either one, it's going to be pretty low. And to my knowledge, I'm not sure if Tomahawk works. I heard Tomahawk does not work, so I haven't been using it. But anyways, you're gonna have to. It's a slog. You're gonna have to get it down to 86% to make it change into phase 2. Essentially, what you do is you just pull them into the corner and you maintain hate. Warrior uses Berserk, Warcry, everything they have, and they stand at max range of TP and weapon skill to Frost Giant. After 2 weapon skills is usually for me when they get enough TP to use Cyclone, the Frost Giant. So after 2 weapon skills, be prepared to run. You'll see in the video that I am running. I'm weapon skilling and then immediately running after that and trying to get a distance while in the weapon skill animation, which is something that you can do to even further lower the chances of getting hit with the spell. And then after you get to 86%, the Frost Giant will freeze, and that begins phase or terrorize, and that will begin phase 2. Phase 2 is the magic weapon skill, physical weapon skill seesaw mode. So essentially, all you're doing is doing enough damage to one to knock it into the next phase, so you can damage the next Iron Giant. And you damage that one until that one terrorizes, and then you damage the next one, swapping your damage types each time, etc. So the Blaze is weakish to magic, but it's super weak to multi-step skill chains, which you'll see with the 3-step darkness that we do. The Frost is weak to Savage Blade. Pretty much, Warrior Savage Blades doing 99k every time with just the 2 minuets. Not really much more is required for that. Once an Iron Giant is at a certain amount of HP, lower than the other, it will tear and you'll have to switch to the other, which we talked about. HP down and weakness are TP moves to watch out for on the Blaze. The Blaze uses, I believe, what's it called? It's the AoE weakness move. It doesn't last very long. It's like 3 seconds long, but it will lower your HP. So the White Mage always has to be on the ball and make sure to get everyone back to full, especially when the Blaze is about to terrorize again, and the Frost is coming out of terrorize, right? So if you get hit with an HP down that you don't take off, and the Frost immediately goes into Mana Font and uses a Blizzjaw, you are probably going to die in one nuke. So I think that is probably the best tip you can have for your White Mage is just make sure to keep HP down off, and the people on the Blaze Knot need to be careful and buy time for the skill chain to make sure the White Mage is ready to go. But once you start doing damage on the blaze, you you will pull them to the other corner, which you'll see in the video. You'll pull them to the other corner to prevent further knockback. The War and the Courier can make a 3-step skill chain on the blaze using Ruinator, Leaden, Cloud Splitter, which should terror the blaze each time with two 99k skill chains. And then you just swap to the Frost, you Savage Blade it down to terrorize that one. You swap back to the Blaze, you do your 3-step, back and forth, back and forth. It sounds easy, but it ends up being like kind of annoying because they can terrorize, they can slow, they can do accuracy down, they can stun. So, and you just gotta be on the ball on all that stuff. It can be a little bit annoying, but it's really not too bad once you get the hang of it. Oh, and then pretty much once you see Mana Font, I would say it's probably the most dangerous phase of the fight when the Frost Knot uses Mana Font. So if you have a Rune Fencer, just throw up Valiance and One for All on top of your Ice Carol and Barb Blizz, and it should be fine. Rampart is good enough too. It's not usually that dangerous. Usually take around like 1k damage per nuke, which the White Mage can easily keep up with. And then the final phase, once you finally kill a giant, the head will spawn of the Iron Giant, and that thing is it's deceptively strong. It does do a lot of damage if you let any TP moves go off, but luckily it is very easily stunnable. So you can just keep it stunned, Savage Blade it down for the win. Worst comes to worst, you can just kite it around too. But just keep in mind, it does do a lot of damage, so you gotta be a little careful for that one. But okay, guys, that does it for the rundown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the video. If I missed anything, feel free to comment below. See you next video. Take care. See ya.